Hi.
An
agenda based on clinging to old perceptions and having bitter fantasies about the way things really are absolutely destroyed things were actually done, almost in the way a magician reveals, how he really hasn't sawed the lady in half. He's actually, used a bit of sleight of hand, and you've been deceived by that sleight of hand, and now you've been upset. And this is something I think that has been festering in not only the American psyche but the international psyche for years, especially rooted in Britain, and even to a certain extent the former Soviet Union. But I'll get into that in a minute. Of course, this evidence that I have right here is well, it's going to quite frankly anger a lot of people and cause a lot of discussion, and I'm fully open to any comments that anyone has that differ with my opinion, but this is what I think. I think it's based on some very firm research and evidence, but I'm just going to jump off the cliff and present it to you now. So some of you may not want to watch the rest of this because it might, quite frankly, may be too damaging to your psyche, and you may not be able to handle it. But here goes. This is possibly the finest post-Beatles album ever released. Completely panned by the musical press. Completely panned. They hated it. In fact, they hated this like people hated George Bush. I mean, like just crazy hate. They hated it like people, some people are hating Obama. I mean, some people are, maybe there's a parallel because maybe there is a legitimate problem with this that I just haven't seen. And I am open to the discussion, but what I believe happened was this man, not the goat, or sheep rather, sheep, not the sheep, but this individual in the wife beater, was responsible for the vast amount of interesting things sonically that were happening with the Beatles. I think he was the backbone of a lot of the really timeless parts of what was going on. And I think everybody was actually very angry that this album came out because it laid bare the fact that all the orchestral, Penny Lane, Eleanor Rigby, the entertaining, fun part of the Beatles, was largely the responsibility of not the Ram, but the guy that's over here. I'm doing this backwards and I can't. Anyway. So I think this was not only Paul McCartney's finest album, but I think this was actually probably potentially. If this doesn't show you where Abbey Road came from, look, this in conjunction with Let It Be. You look at Let It Be, it's four people. I don't know how to keep this up here. Let It Be completely shows the disintegration of the process whereby these four people got together, and in essence they were more in each other's way. I think what's incredibly poignant is the sequence where in Let It Be, which would be really slick if I had my Let It Be album here and I could hold it up, but I don't. It's in the other room and I'm just not even motivated enough to get it. These crappy hats that they made in the Soviet Union are really crappy. So that's what you get with a communist-made head warming device. It's not even symmetrical. So if you're thinking, well, he's just wearing it wrong. No, that's pretty much it's verklempt. So anyway, the poignant part that I was referring to, where Lennon and Yoko are dancing around. I mean, that's pretty much their major contribution to that whole. It's basically like, we're not going to do anything that George is on, other than dance around, because we got nothing other than we're doing a lot of heroin. So, I mean, it's just basically, once again, Abbey Road was recorded after Let It Be. You saw what was going on in Let It Be. You kind of saw where everybody's head was at. So you had George Harrison and McCartney carrying the load. Lennon would get off heroin just long enough to come in and do, Mean Mr. Mustard, or, he did have, Come Together, which was this, basically rant about it really being his band. I started this, you're not listening to me, la 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 la, which, I mean, clearly he was a tortured soul, and I feel for him in that regard, definitely. But I do think that the fallout with regard to this album is still, it's like there are people that hate this album as much as they hate the Monkees. And I think that's actually why why George Harrison's album got such a bump. It was great. A triple album, I don't know, because I think there was some stuff that could have been left out, but I think it would have been a fantastic double album. At the same time, though, I think that it was we're not voting for this guy, because he pulled the magic out from under the hat and laid it all bare for us that it wasn't magic, that it was actually hard work and a lot of hours and passion and stuff that went into it. But I think this album is fantastic. Uncle Albert, Admiral Halsey really kind of shows you the template for the whole B-side, of Abbey Road. And, I mean, there's The Heart of the Country, Backseat of My Car, come on. That's just just an epic song. Some of it misses the Too Many People, Dear Boy, Ram On. I'm not really sure what that Ram On thing's about. But the good thing about McCartney is he wasn't like sitting there going, all we are saying is give peace a chance. It was just, his lyrics were open to interpretation, and so whatever you're feeling that day, I don't know about you, sometimes I just don't feel like giving peace a chance. So, I can put on Ram, and I can make it be whatever I feel like it is. So I think that's any mark of great music, is its timelessness. And like I said, I think this album was unfairly castigated by the press and everybody, because they were like, we don't want, any one Beatle to sound like the Beatles. We want, it to be magic. It's got to be magic. Ooh. And it's not magic. It's talent. It's hard work. Like you guys doing really good videos on YouTube. You spend a lot of time working on it. It's not magic. You don't sit down and, the magic fairy comes out and all of a sudden you've got this great edited piece with all these things that I frankly can't do, going in and out and all this kind of stuff. So anyway, I hope you're all duly offended, and please, respond in kind. I'm throwing down the gauntlet. So let's hear you other people on here. Bring it. Bring the pain. Talk to you later.